Ayo, Daddy-O! Kiki here.
And JokersWild, back again.
Yeah, that's a throwback, just like you yourself are a throwback, Jokers.
I guess. I don't
know. No, it's been like, what, like at least like a year since you've been on one of these things, I want to say? It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
For the Imagineering side, yeah.
And then I know you've probably
done the channel was in the
less
fall.
than a year ago, but...
Yeah, it was probably the fall, like early fall. It's been a while.
Well, regardless, we're happy to have you back, Jokers.
Thank you.
Just so y'all know, Pi and Obi, they got sucked into the vortex of an evil Nintendo game, and they have to fight the mother brain in order to get out before they can join us again. And Link's there, but he's being kind of a jerk. Well, excuse me, princess. And that right there was literally just a bit that I lifted directly from Kickassia. Are you happy?
I love it. Tune in next week to Boldly Free. We're going down the list of Channel Awesome movies.
Oh dear. You know what? I've actually kind of gotten into Phalus.
Really? Oh my god.
I mean, it's like his content isn't great, but his content is in that kind of like, you know, like old school Channel Awesome sort of like comfort watching zone.
Yeah, you know? No, I get that.
And I haven't seen most of them, and some of them are pretty interesting topics.
Yeah, he picks a lot of interesting topics. I haven't watched him in like, oh my god, like since like 2009.
Oh,
like, very, very, very long time ago.
I mean, I always knew him from, you know, from the Channel Awesome movies, but honestly, I never really liked him in those movies, and I feel like in his reviews, he's still kind of a cynical asshole, but he's not really like playing that up as much as I thought he would in his actual videos. Anyways. All right, guys. So, yeah, once again, this is for the Armchair Imagineering game Citrus Dreamin on the WDW Magic forums. Y'all can find links to the projects in the description. We're going to probably hold off on talking about the actual projects until Pi and Obi get here. Godspeed on them defeating the mother brain.
We're hoping and praying.
But Jokers, I'm going to give you a little tease. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. You guys won the project, right?
Yes, we did. But you didn't like ours because it was all puzzles.
Well, to be fair, Journey to Imagination was also all puzzles.
That's fair.
I don't think Pi made the right choice on this one. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, I think you're wrong. I think you're full of shit.
Well, yeah, obviously you think. No, here's the thing. So basically, the prompt this time around is one of my favorite prompts.
It's a great prompt, yeah.
Yeah, design either a video game or a board game based on a Disney attraction. And team, I swear to God, I will never get... I will never... You're on Team Boats?
No, I'm on Team Birds.
I will never get that fucking right. I will never get it right. I guarantee you it's never going to stick.
I've had them written in my hand for the past couple of weeks.
So you're on Team Boats?
No, I'm on Team Birds.
You're on Team Birds, okay.
Yeah.
AGP, we will be on camera. We're just waiting for Pi and OB to get here before we go on camera. Jokers is not going to be on camera by their own choice.
Hello.
So that's totally fine.
Yeah, I prefer to be just kind of like a nebulous idea rather than a physical being.
So you're like the Jared Leto's Joker?
Yeah. Have you gotten all the animal carcasses I've mailed you?
That's why they call you Jokers. Right.
I've been sending threatening letters for months.
Okay, I'm terribly sorry. One more time. You're on Team Birds, right?
Birds, yes.
Okay. So Team Birds ended up doing a really cool but really kind of like obtuse concept, which is Luna Park, like old school 1920s Coney Island. Whereas Team Boats, they did Journey into Imagination.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, honestly, I kind of think that I like the approach that you guys were going for with like going away from Disney. I honestly, my problem was mostly just the fact that a lot of the actual content of your project didn't really have that much to do with the park, if that makes sense.
That's fair, and that's something
It's a
we
lot of characters, it's a lot of environmental puzzles, not a lot of actual park stuff.
That's something we kinda got away from as we, like, figured out what we were doing with the project. My initial idea when we were talking about it was to be half of this, like, a historical piece, like, recreating the park, but
Uh-huh.
also a game where you could explore the park and, like, solve puzzles and talk to people and stuff. So it kinda got away from the historical aspect of it, and it became more of a game, but I think it's still, like, very distinctly Luna Park and very distinctly set in its period, where it's still okay. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a game that you could just throw anywhere. It still feels like a distinct Luna Park game.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get too deep into the projects. Instead,
Yeah.
let's talk about environmental puzzles in video games.
Yeah.
Da-da, da-da-da-da. You know what? I actually am going to come on camera for this one because
Oh,
I
wow.
have things to say. I have things to say about this.
Okay.
Yeah. So environmental puzzles are maybe my biggest kryptonite when it comes to the realm of video games. Honest to God. I just can't wrap my head around them. Even something like Breath of the Wild, where by all intents and purposes the gameplay is pretty freeform and lets you do anything, it's still like I feel like I can't make a lot of progress without having to actually think about what I'm doing. And thinking about what I'm doing when it comes to playing a video game is not something I want to do. Jokers, you know my taste in games. How would you describe my taste in games?
You like games as games.
Yes, that's a good
Yeah.
way to put it.
You play games for the gameplay, which is a big reason why you mostly only play Nintendo stuff.
Right. I'm gonna show y'all something. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. 90
Wow.
hours or more on Balatro. 90
Yeah.
fucking hours.
Oh my god, 450 on Mario.
450 hours on Mario Kart.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
He likes what he likes.
I do. Hold on. There's one other one. It's a puzzle game, but it's not an environmental puzzle. Luminous, 420 hours.
Oh my god.
But then you scroll down, and I feel like this is a perfect illustration of how my tastes are different. All right, this is gonna fucking. This is actually kind of. This is probably even gonna surprise you. Mario Wonder, 15 hours.
Okay. Well, it's a pretty short game, too,
So
isn't
what I'm saying is like even a game like Mario Wonder, which should very much be for me, for my tastes, I will like play through the levels once and get my fill. You know? It's like I don't know, man.
The only games I've ever gotten close to that long with are like Civ. I think that's the one I can think of offhand.
I would be very curious to know what the actual playtime for my Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 disc was from back in the day. Man, yeah, that I legit wouldn't be surprised if it was over 1,000 hours. Legit.
Actually, I'm gonna check my Switch. I'm curious now. Vamp.
Let's see. I can actually pull up your profile. Friends.
I'm back, Switch in hand. And now I can check.
I'm checking for you.
Oh, thank you. I didn't realize you could do that.
Yes, I can.
Wow. I played 80 hours of Graveyard Keeper.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like Stardew Valley, but it's a cemetery.
Oh my god.
Speaking of, I played 80 hours of Stardew Valley.
Can I just vent again for a second?
Yeah.
Folks, this is exactly why we're going a half hour early, because I wanted to get all this like off-topic bullshit out of the way before Pi came on and we actually talked about the projects.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch, for literally its entire lifespan, has been obsessed with trying to make another Stardew Valley happen. Another Stardew Valley is not going to happen. Stardew Valley is Stardew Valley. Stop every fucking direct.
I know.
Every fucking direct. Hey, it's a new farm sim.
I love Stardew Valley to death, and I really enjoy farming sims, but we don't need 50 of them. And quick aside, because this is on topic, we almost did one for our project.
I know.
And that's exactly the reason why I did not want to do it. So I'm glad that we got away from it.
Farming sims I will fuck with every once in a while. I will not fuck with a game that's based entirely on environmental puzzles.
I am waiting impatiently for the Stardew Valley update to come to console.
Oh my god.
And when it does, boy, will I be there. But me, on the flip side, I love environmental puzzles. I like playing games for the story. I like playing games for the experience and the immersion. So I'm kind of the opposite of you, where I kind of treat games like movies at this point. I love being immersed in the world.
You know what are movies? You know what are movies?
Yes, I do know what are movies. I went to
movies are movies.
Yeah.
Math is math.
Yeah. But games can also be...
This is exactly why I do not foresee myself owning a non-Nintendo console anytime soon.
Yeah,
because fucking Sony is just obsessed with, like, it's a fucking movie, but you're playing it. It's a feature fucking film.
They're all so good. And they have good gameplay. It's not like gameplay is getting lost in that.
Do they?
Yeah,
because they all look like fucking walking simulators to me.
No, they're absolutely not. God of War is really great gameplay. The Uncharted games, they have okay gameplay, but still.
What about The Last of Us? The Last of Us is a walking sim.
No, The Last of Us does have a lot of combat, but I've never played it because I don't like stealth.
Ah, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's more of like a stealth.
There are games out there like The Last of Us where I will randomly watch a video essay and get super invested in the story.
Oh yeah.
That still doesn't mean I'm going to actually sit down and play the game.
That's fair. And but that's what I love. I love getting immersed in the world. I love the lore. Like I love games like The Witcher, like Cyberpunk or Fallout, where you can get lost in the world and fully explore it.
This has happened to me exactly one time. Exactly one time. Do you want to guess which game it was?
BioShock.
I didn't even play BioShock.
You didn't play BioShock.
I watched a friend play BioShock, and it was specifically BioShock Infinite.
Yeah. What game was it? Was it Yoku's Island Express?
Oh, fuck no. I do not like Metroidvanias almost as much as I don't like environmental puzzles, especially because
I thought you liked Yoku.
I don't like...
No. But sorry, what game?
The original Kingdom Hearts.
Not
Kingdom Hearts 2, because fuck that shit.
You don't like the Heartless and the Nobodies?
Oh my god, dude. Well, the reason I don't like Kingdom Hearts 2 is that I feel like Kingdom Hearts 2 in a lot of ways was kind of like the start of my distaste in modern gaming, because I was like, man, this combat sure looks cool and flashy, but it doesn't really feel that satisfying.
Oh, I like it.
It's not as satisfying as the combat from the first game. It's just not. Being able to pull off all those fucking special fancy-ass moves,
I think I prefer 2's combat because it's streamlined. I have problems with 3's, but that's because they rely too heavily on the attractions. But that's
the thing is that for a lot of people, what a lot of people think of the attractions in 3, I I totally fucking forget what the super moves or whatever were in 2, but those bothered me.
Too long. Yeah, I mean, I had fun with them.
All right.
But
I just know that when I played through the original Kingdom Hearts, there were actually bosses that challenged me and made me frustrated in a good way.
Yeah.
And when I played through Kingdom Hearts 2, I literally didn't die once until the end game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not even kidding you. Not once, not one death until the return to Twilight Town.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I play a lot of games for the story and the experience. Probably a big reason why this project happened, or why I was so into this project, was because I just played a game called Call of the Sea that's kind of similar, where it's all environmental puzzles and walking and discovering, and it was really cool.
So, I mean, my thing, I don't know. I respect, here's the thing, I respect AAA games like, like the BioShocks of the world that really go all out with the world building and are like, every nook and cranny is super detailed and shit. I'm getting really bored of indie games leaning too heavily on either being a Metroidvania or a environmental puzzle game.
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like they're not too heavily into environmental puzzles.
They're very heavily into being Metroidvanias.
They are. Metroidvanias are really popular. Farming sims are still very.
I will take a straight side-scrolling platformer any day of the week over a Metroidvania. No.
I mean, on that note, what I hate more than anything are fucking roguelikes. Every game is a roguelike where they're like procedural generation, like yeah.
Balatro is technically a roguelike, but I just don't.
Is it?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's the one that, like, it got to me, man. It fucking got to me.
I just don't like the procedural generation. Like, I had a good time with Binding of Isaac, but like, I'd rather play a game where the levels are like actually crafted and made instead of just like randomized rooms and cards and stuff.
You see, I think Balatro is a brilliant game specifically because of the randomization.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it works for that because it's like a card game. But
it's a card game, yes. I do not I probably wouldn't like I've heard so many good things about Hades.
Yeah.
I've been on the fence about buying it. I don't think I will just because it's kind of what you were saying, but
yeah. If I got it for free, I would play it. Like if it came to PlayStation Plus or something, I'd definitely try it, but I don't know if I want to spend the money to play it.
Mm-hmm. They should put out a demo for it.
I'm surprised they haven't.
Yeah,
it's big enough. Whatever. But yeah, I like environmental games. The game that we made is the type of game that I would be all over and would probably have a thoroughly great time with it. We just
what about y'all in the comments? Environmental puzzles, or are you like me and you prefer stuff that's actually straightforward?
Yeah, the duality of say you want to be an Imagineer.
For me, another thing is that if I'm gaming, I'm typically like in relaxation mode.
That's fair.
And so it's like I do not want to get off of a long shift at work and then be like, let's put my brain to work now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I play games instead of watching TV at this point. No. I think that's where the big difference between our ideals with games comes from.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do watch a ton of YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go through the comments here. I'm hoping that Pi will be able to show up soon because I kind of feel like we're running out of material for this conversation sooner than I thought.
It's okay. We can talk about the other projects if you want or anything.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk. I don't really want to talk about the actual project until Pi gets here. But we can
no. I mean the other the past projects.
Oh right. Yeah. Also, MVP, folks. MVP. Vote for your MVP. Evan, who is your MVP this round? What is your vote?
God, I have to do this live?
Yes.
Me? I don't know.
You can vote for yourself.
Yeah, you know what?
You were
Fuck
pretty
it.
much the main
Fuck it.
champion of this, so
I say me.
all right. One vote.
It's 90% for a bit. I promise.
Also, I have an announcement about the MVP.
Mm.
It's actually going to matter to the fantasy draft.
Okay. Wow.
So we basically decided that to actually make the MVP, feel like it's actually something and not nothing, we're going to take away 5 points from the person who the MVP is on their team. Not 1 point, 5 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to make a dent. All right. AGP is saying outbound, Colby seconds you.
Yeah.
This conversation is currently dominantly Team Bird. Yeah, I was. You know what, Colby? If Peregrine and you weren't on the same team, I would have absolutely reached out to Peregrine as well to be on this. But I really didn't want 2 people from the same team.
Yeah.
Tried to get Tegan, but unfortunately she's working tonight. So
Oof.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Colby says, give me a slow, boring story all day. If I have to actively do anything involving skill or strategy, I'm out.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that skilled either, guys. I'm really not. But like,
don't sell yourself short.
No, you. Oh God, I suck. Honestly, like I'm 90 hours into Balatro. And I still have no fucking clue how these fucks on the streams do these like single card hands that get like fucking like literally like over 1 million points. I'm like, how? I have spent 100 hours in this game trying to fucking figure out the mechanics. I do not know how to play a high card run. I mean, I get that you have to like level up the high card, like the high card hand. I get that. Obviously, every time you open a Celestial pack, you want to level up the high card hand. And I get that you want to like have a bunch of like, a bunch of stuff on the cards, like seals and whatnot. Yeah. But there's not enough seals in the goddamn game. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I know you don't know. Let's see. I saw someone in the chat here who's into Balatro, so maybe they can tell me.
Oh, really?
I thought I did see someone.
Must have missed that. Also, Architectural Guinea Pig Stray is a really fun game. I really enjoyed it. I played it a while ago.
Oh yeah, LEB says best gambling sim in years. Balatro rules. So LEB, how the fuck do you do a high card run in Balatro? Please tell me. I have literally actively watched people do it, and I still don't know how to do it. All right. Kogia says, I barely understand a word that everyone's saying. Yeah, well, Kogias, like I said, you can at least understand the projects that we're talking about because the links are in the description, but we're not talking about the projects right now. As a matter of fact, let me check and I'm going to do something really stupid, all right? I'm going to pretend that I'm looking on my Nintendo Switch to see if Pi has escaped the Metroid game. But what I'm really doing is looking on the boards to see if you private message me. Don't tell anyone, Evan.
What level is Pi on?
Well, he has to defeat the Mother Brain, so I assume that he's pretty deep into the game.
Okay. Good for him.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Did Pi get the screw attack yet?
What? Okay, Pi says he'll probably be close to 10, but they'll be on as soon as they can. All right. Well, he is. I see that he's online now. So
it's okay. He'll be here soon. We're having fun. It's a good time.
There were seals in our game. Oh my god! Not that kind of seal. Not that kind of seal. I'm sure you're a true gamer, Tiki. Don't doubt yourself, man.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm really not. I'm sorry.
In our group chats, we usually just refer to Tiki as the gamer.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
Really?
No.
Oh my God. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, me, Rob, and Garrett were like, "Hey, where's the gamer?" We haven't heard from the gamer in a while.
Because I was thinking like maybe you and Rob and Garrett had a side group
No,
chat.
no, we didn't.
Oh man. All right. Kogia says any game that has seal feels like a kiss from a rose.
Yeah.
Well, any game that has a seal reminds me of the brilliant animated movie Sealed with a Kiss. So there's another tie-in to the kiss of it all. Yeah.
That's just the seal movie, isn't it?
It's literally Titanic with seals.
Is it really?
All right. Theme Park Priest votes Outbound for MVP, so we got ourselves some competition.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm doing Hold on 1 second.
Well, hey guys. JokersWild here. Oh, and Skipper Pie.
Hi.
It's Pie. Hello.
Don't mind me. I was just gaming.
Oh my God.
Playing my favorite GameCube game. Uncharted. Love it.
Oh, Pie, just so you know, you and OB actually just escaped from a cursed Metroid game. You had to fight the mother brain to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it with the skills I learned from Uncharted, and that Obi learned from their favorite Wii game using a PS4 remote.
Link was there. He was being a real asshole.
Tiki said you used some pretty strict speedrun strats.
Oh my God.
And I would like to hear which ones you used.
What speedrun strats didn't I use?
This is a lot of material that I'm getting out of like a random throwaway gag from Kick-Assia. Little Miss Gamer. Does anyone remember Little Miss Gamer? Because I don't outside of that one gag from Kick-Assia.
It's okay, Pie. You don't have to reveal your secrets. But I'm just
My main speedrunning strat was I ran, but like fast.
That's good. Good.
Yeah.
That's valid. Yeah.
All right. So I believe we've got a tie for MVP right now. We've got 2 votes for Jokers, 2 votes for Outbound. We're going strong. Pie, before we get into the projects, I got to ask you, how do you feel about environmental puzzles in video games?
I love them and I go crazy for them. I was so happy that both games are pretty puzzle focused.
Yeah. This has been
games are games. Games are games.
Puzzles can be games.
Yeah,
that's why they're called puzzle games, Tiki.
No, you asshole! You
yes.
asshole! I hate you. I'm getting horribly offended over this. Environmental puzzles are not puzzle games.
Yeah.
Yes, I am getting kind of worked up and performing getting worked up. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
But
it depends on how it's done and how it's executed. There's definitely sometimes we'll play a game and be like, that's not a game.
Yes.
You're objectively wrong. You're objectively wrong. This is a puzzle game. This is a puzzle game.
I thought your favorite game was Majora's Mask.
Oh my God.
I thought that was the one you
let me fucking demonstrate to y'all how a puzzle game works, all right? 1 second, it's gotta load. It's gotta load.
Really, what is a loading screen if not an environmental puzzle for life?
Yeah.
Okay, you see how there's blocks and they drop down? That's a puzzle game.
Tiki,
that is a puzzle game.
That's a building game, Tiki.
I believe that's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You playing Terraria?
Okay. So yes. Also, guys, Celeste is one of my all-time favorite platformers, and I did not appreciate that bait and switch.
That's fair.
I was like, ooh, a Journey into Imagination-based platformer. Platformers are one of my favorite genres. Nope. Right. Environmental puzzles.
It still was pretty platformer focused. It just felt...
Yeah.
It reminded me like one of the things they referenced. It Takes Two. It reminded me a lot of that, where it's a platformer, but part of the platforming is doing puzzles, and then you continue platforming.
Okay, doing puzzles and then you continue platforming. That is my big problem with puzzle platformers. It's the break in pace.
And that is a fair
And
point.
I say this just speaking solely as someone who is terrible at environmental puzzles. Environmental puzzles have ended so many playthroughs of video games that I'm otherwise into, where I'll just hit one and I'm like, I legitimately have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to do.
You have to solve the puzzle, Tiki.
Oh, God.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
All right. Also, just to set the stage here, y'all, we do have to get out of here at the end of the hour because Jacob and Dragon are doing their Phineas and Ferb Recapinator podcast tonight right after this. So
stay tuned for that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It does good numbers. It does good numbers. I might not be into it, but it does good numbers on the channel.
Yeah.
Which Phineas and Ferb, if I remember correctly, had a pretty decent puzzle platformer.
Don't say. Oh my God.
Oh, did it?
Like, it was
There were a
definitely
lot of puzzles
more
in the show.
younger kids, but it was pretty decent.
Yeah. Hey?
You know what's really sad, Pi? Is that even puzzle platformers that are built for little kids, it's still too much.
I couldn't get past the first level of Peppa Pig. I totally sympathize.
Okay, I am talking specifically about that Mickey Mouse game that came out over this past summer.
It's not a kid's game.
I don't know anyone under the age of 30 that played that game. Like, it might be a kid's game. I'm just saying, from my experience, I don't know any kid that played it. I know a lot of people in the late 20s and mid 30s very excited about it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Anyways, let's get into the projects. Pi, you made a mistake.
That's fair. Like, it was definitely a tough one to judge.
You made the right choice in the end. It's okay.
I have a feeling Jokers would agree with me. So it's 2 against 1. You know what Obi thinks? Good addition.
I appreciate that Team Birds took a big swing with this one. I really do appreciate it. That being said, I felt like Team Boats, their game had the actual spirit of the attraction a lot more. That being said, Jokers, you are a freak who's like obsessed with weird World's Fair, old-timey amusement park shit.
This is the mistake of putting me and Pergron on the same team. we just do weird shit.
I just like dark rides. Dark rides are my thing. So Journey into Imagination, hell yeah. And low-key, I think Journey to Imagination is one of those attractions I could absolutely see Disney doing a game off of.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I could see them doing that to like test the waters of like, hey, people are like literally like going to the parks and spending ungodly numbers of hours waiting for a fucking Figment popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's test the waters just a little more to see if he's actually worth investing money into the attraction itself.
And Luna Park is the type of game I could see some like weird weird indie developer make the best game ever, like out of the Baltics, and they're like, we chose this specifically to tell our story.
It becomes so
like
popular with specifically the guy who used to do Zero Punctuation.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
I think that's the target audience for that game.
You see, we made a game for gamers, Tiki.
Oh my god.
I know.
Game reviewers, at least.
That game like once a week. Couple hours.
You want to know something else that I feel is actually a bit more objectively critical of your project?
No, I don't. No, please, only good things. Positives only, please.
I feel like, as far as the format goes, I really like the idea that both teams did a gaming journalism thing with Game Informer and with IGN. Game Informer, I'm a big Game Informer guy. I love Game Informer. I had stacks and stacks of it when I was a kid. The thing is, while I appreciate the format, I do think that Team Boats committed more fully to the IGN thing.
Yeah, I get it. Well, so the Game Informer idea came kind of late. And it was also like it's difficult to get everyone on the same page to like write a whole project as an article.
Yeah.
So it was a little like not fully baked. But I really liked it. I think it was a great way to present our project. I think it was the best way to present our project.
Team Boats did it.
Yeah, but they did it a little differently because they had a review written by one person and a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Where ours was a little bit of a different slant where we were revealing the game as an article.
So IGN has both reviews and walkthroughs. You know what else?
Game Informer doesn't.
Reviews? Game Informer has walkthroughs sometimes.
Do they?
Okay.
In the year of our Lord 2024.
It's been a long time since I've gotten a Game Informer, so I could
be
wrong.
Do Game Informers even exist anymore? I hope they do.
Yes, they just came back.
Really? Oh, nice,
I believe so. Yeah.
But I don't know. IGN, I really like how there's just little touches. Like, for example, holy shit, that Ellen clip, dude. That Ellen clip. Oh my god.
I would definitely say both presentations were great. If it was a different round, I'd be like, oh, this Game Informer is really neat. Like, it could have committed more, but it's really neat. But the IGN did nail it.
Yeah. The discourse in the comments.
My only criticism of the IGN presentation is that there was not enough water. Thanks, Jokers.
I got you. My criticism is that it doesn't fucking work on mobile. God damn it!
Yeah, that's
that is a fair point.
I get
realized
like
that
2 words a line.
They realized that 11:58.
Oh, did they really?
So I told them it's okay. I read on computers. Because at that point, they were like panicking, trying to get it done.
Oh my god!
Oh no! It worked better once I turned my phone, but all the pictures were still really blurry. And I just haven't gotten around to looking at it on my computer. I was not able to read the discourse, unfortunately.
Okay. Kogias, IGN does have an infamous reputation. Jokers, can you speak to that?
I guess, yeah. IGN.
I feel like you know more about it than I do. I could be wrong.
I mean, I guess a little bit. I mean, they have a lot of issues with plagiarism. They have a lot of issues with being both not hard enough and then sometimes too hard on random games.
I feel like they've got a big issue with basically companies being able to buy off good reviews.
Yes, yeah.
I've heard that before multiple times.
They're not the most reputable game review site.
Yeah.
They were one of the first names to break out of the niche market, and because of that, they went very corporate.
Yeah.
And very company friendly. And that's just kind of where they're at. There's been minor controversies along the way, but at the end of the day, they're advertising more than reviews or news at this point.
Right.
I mean, they're still a good source for certain things. Like, I still use their walkthroughs every once in a while.
Oh, the walkthroughs are great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, their walkthroughs are probably the most valuable thing that they still do.
And one of the most valuable things for this specific project, because it gave them the ability to just have a whole section, that's just write how you would have written this project no matter what we did.
Yeah.
Which made it easier for them to all work together.
Also, Ace, I'm so sorry. This video is strictly about the history of IGN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know who I trust IGN more than I trust this dude. RGT 85.
Oh my
I'm
god.
just gonna bring him up just because Man-Eating Wreath and I, like, we will go back and forth. Literally, Jokers, this guy has become our own personal, like, our new David O'Neill.
I know, you send them to me too.
Every upload this guy has is just like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on. The big thing with this guy is that every video, he's like, and you know what? I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber. I'm a gamer, but I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber. Let me read off this dude's recent videos. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
So about that Nintendo Direct, Nintendo just got caught lying to all of us. Nintendo's biggest nightmare just got a lot worse. It's the end of an era.
Mario 2.
It's the end of an era for Nintendo. Nintendo Switch 2 update leaks plus classic Nintendo returns? ? Yeah, those are all different videos, y'all. Released in the past 10 days. This dude's totally not a Nintendo YouTuber. Absolutely not. Why would you even suggest such a thing?
That's
Unless
ridiculous.
it's a podcast or a Let's Play, that's too many videos for the last 10 days.
There's a lot of news.
Over the non-Nintendo ones, too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He uploads more than that.
He's the CNN of gaming news.
No, he's the David O'Neill of gaming news. Nobody probably even fucking knows who David O'Neill is, but we don't have time to get into that. I know you do, Jokers. Obviously.
I do know who David O'Neill is. But
y'all ever heard of the Extinct Attractions Club?
Oh god, Tiki, we gotta talk about these projects.
I know.
We got 45 minutes.
Before we get too into the projects,
let's talk more about IGN.
Like 11 minutes ago, ATP asked if MVP has been decided yet. And I am also curious about what the current standings are for MVP and if it has been decided. I came in late because of all my hashtag gaming.
I thought it was still a tie, right?
I believe it's still a tie, yes. It's between Outbound and Jokers.
Yeah.
Although, come to think of it, it's Outbound. Wait, Outbound is not on Joker's team, right?
No, he is not.
Okay, good. So it'll actually matter one way or another.
Oh, you mean that team? I don't know.
We've mentioned the projects.
Oh, hold on. No, Outbound probably is on my team. Outbound is, as a matter of fact, was my first draft pick. So yeah, it literally won't matter.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyway,
I'm doing great on the draft so far.
I know. I think at this point, I'm literally going to have -1.
Muppets fan, we have talked about the projects very briefly.
Yeah.
But we have mentioned them in passing.
I feel like the big dichotomy for the projects and what it came down to is Team Birds had a very cohesive and unique vision, and it felt like everything worked together there. And with Team Boats, it was just a little bit too scattered and a little bit too much conflicting info that I think, given another day or two, could have really been ironed out. But just kind of with it being a shorter round, and with it would have possibly been an extension if we hadn't just done an extension and this wasn't eliminations anyways. There was just a little bit too much scattered or conflicting in there that I feel like while it could have been the winner and it was very close, I gave it to Birds. For me, at least, that was the big dichotomy. Because sometimes it was a Wii game, sometimes it was a PS5 game. The cover art for the review was pixel art. I know they went back and forth on what to do until the last day, so it's just...
You do realize there's a thing called a multi-platform release, right?
What was that?
You do realize there's a thing called a multi-platform release, right?
You're right. Multi-platform doesn't usually go against or go through every generation.
Hey, look at Just Dance.
You got me there with Just Dance.
I totally thought it was a joke until you review.
Weren't they still making Just Dance games for the Wii like literally like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, very, very recently.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's crazy. Pie, I hear what you're saying, but you're objectively wrong. No, obviously, I'm kidding.
I mean, like I said, these were slight nitpicks, but it was just like slight issues that if it wasn't so close, probably wouldn't have mattered.
My issue with Team Birds was that
too many puzzles.
Most of their content was what?
No, nothing.
Most of their content was either character building or describing environmental puzzles. Whereas I felt like Team Boats, I actually got a lot more of a vision for what the game was going to be based on Team Boats. With Team Birds, I was like, oh, okay, this is like some weird indie art house shit that I'm probably not going to like.
Yeah, but we described
like
every
weird
aspect
indie
of
art
the
house
game.
shit, so that helped. Like, to me,
See,
like,
you
have you ever
like
played
weird indie
What
art
Remains
house
of
shit.
Edith Finch?
I like weird art house shit when it comes to movies, not games.
Edith Finch was exactly one of the games I was thinking of when we were like starting.
To me, that's what I was thinking of when reading it too. So it was a different kind of game, and I understand where you're coming from, that it's not the gamiest kind of game, and for like a project like this, doing something more traditionally gamey might have been a bit more in the spirit of, hey, here's a chance to do something different, but it is a kind of game.
So, like, but I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is that the actual content of the project didn't flow together for me as well as the Journey into Imagination project did, which is ironic because you're saying that it didn't. But for me, when I read the Journey into Imagination project, like I said, I could picture exactly what the gameplay was like. I could picture exactly what the visuals would be like. I could picture the Metroidvania with a bunch of different rooms and then different little side games and mini games, and then the 2-person mechanic was described really well. I don't know, man. Maybe I probably should have reread the first project because I read the Coney Island project last night, and then I read this one about an hour ago. So the Journey into Imagination one is fresher in my head. I'll give you that. But like I said, with the Journey into Imagination project, I was legitimately surprised when it ended because I was like, okay, like that was a solid pitch for a concept of a game, but I don't really feel like I've wrapped my head around what the actual game itself is.
I see where you're coming from. I personally disagree, but like I said, it is very close. Like, it's not like I'm saying, the Giant Imagination was so awful and so many mistakes, blah, blah, blah. It was very close. I don't know. I guess I don't fully agree with Birds not being clear on what the game is. Like, you keep talking about how what they focused on was the characters, but to me,
the characters
just kind of read as that is the focus of the game, is finding all these characters and building to the framing story of you find the character, because they mentioned in the story, I think Disney Man 1 wrote the story intro about restoring the heart of Coney Island. So as you talk to more people, the park gets restored, the lights shine brighter and all that. So you have that like framing device of you talk to people that restores the place. And then you're like, well, I never found a hut. And then Topsy the elephant says, you did. The hut was the people along the way, which was a little cheesy, but like it worked for the kind of thing they were going for.
I guess.
But again, like I definitely do understand like Journey into Imagination more because they were both really well done. Like even with the issues Boats had with some of it being done a little last minute, they still turned out something great. Especially with the
Let me ask you this. Did the prompt specifically call for a Disney attraction or was it just any attraction?
That was the twist.
Yes, this was the choices round. One team had to do Disney and one team had to do non-Disney.
Oh, okay. I totally missed that. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah. This was the last of the choices round. And it worked out. I was able to just start the prompt early because both teams chose different things.
Okay. So that makes sense. Yeah,
I don't think they would have gone
I
with the new level up.
apologize. I don't know how I missed that. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of think doing a very similar game to the one y'all pitched, except instead of the Coney Island thing, it's basically a murder mystery during the Chicago World's Fair.
That was another thing I was kind of circling around, and then we moved to
I
Luna
know you
Park.
were.
That could
But-
have been cool. Like a murder mystery in either this place or the World's Fair. That would have really been cool.
I feel like having the murder mystery element to it would have gamified the concept for me a little bit more than just, oh, you have to find the heart of Coney Island, but the heart is actually a metaphor.
But games like the setup can be simple. And honestly, I like the simplicity of our concept. I like how open-ended it is. I like how you can just talk to people or do the bare minimum.
But
I
what's
like
the bare
how-
minimum if you're not talking to people?
Like not talking to everyone.
Okay, but maybe that's what I was missing, though. What is the
Well,
gameplay loop? By all
That's
intents and-
another thing that got changed from the initial concept. Because when we were first pitching it, we were talking about, like, you would go to the park and you'd have a choice. You could play the game, or you could literally explore the park as it was in 1908 and ride the rides as they were experienced in 1908 and leave the park, and that's the end of the game. Or you can go around, solve puzzles. No, exactly. Or you could go around, solve puzzles, meet people, actually play the game in a deeper way. 4 more rewards, 4 more lore, 4 more story. And then we focused more on like the game as a game. So kind of the focus kind of shifted, but that's kind of what you're talking about, I think.
Pix, you're absolutely right. This is very subjective in terms of what games I like. You're absolutely right. That is why I'm very glad that Pi made the decision and not me.
Hey, me too. You know,
that was something I was really worried about, and I'm glad. While very different and tough to compare games like Apple Birds to Orange Birds, this was not the hardest to do because I like both these kinds of games, 3D or 2D platformers, as well as weird indie shit where you just kind of walk around and talk to people. Those are like my 2 different kinds of games that I'm the most into. I was really worried we were going to get something that I just don't really care about. Like, I don't know, here's third-person shooter in Busch Gardens or whatever.
Oh no. Yeah, Busch Gardens, Big Game Hunter.
Busch Gardens third-person shooter.
I
don't know.
SeaWorld whaling experience.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh God, that would be fucking wild. I could imagine the
like
Dark Castle, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That also reminds me. We could totally talk about the projects more, but I do want to, for like the last segment of this, I do want to kind of maybe throw out some alternate ideas for things that could be fun.
I think before you do that, the last feedback I'll give on the projects, unless y'all have anything more to say about them, I would say Team Birds, I would like to see a bit more visuals from people other than Red, and more visuals from Red always. But that would be the one big feedback I would give them for the season so far, is a bit more visuals there. And for Team Boats, just I mentioned in the review, there's always pluses you can do, always little things you can do, and you don't always have to wait for like whoever's leading the project to lead the way, which is something I've seen the brainstorming y'all have already gotten a lot better with. But those would be my big feedbacks for both teams, both on this prompt and just the season so far to work on. But other than that, you guys are doing great.
I would like to keep up with the brainstorming more than I have been. It's just y'all are working at too fast of a pace. It's like I'll read like a couple pages of brainstorming and I'll come back. I'm like, oh, I have like 10 more pages to read through.
Yeah, no, it's not easy to keep up, and there's a lot that I've just kind of like skimmed through and hoped I didn't miss anything.
Right. I'm trying to think if I have any other additional comments.
Jokers, do you have advice for yourself?
Yeah. I think that I should just get better or quit. This is a crossroads for me, and I think I'm finally reaching an ultimatum with myself.
My God.
Translate that into gamer speak. Get
Oh,
good. But get
yeah.
is G
Oh my
I T and good is
God. Get good at life.
That's a gamer speak.
Oh my God. Oh, I need to get good at real life interpersonal relationships and not just being friends with everybody online. That's what I need to get good at.
I get that feeling. I find a
Yeah.
houseplant as a friend works really well.
Yeah, houseplant can't leave.
Hi, Reginald.
Friend
He's over
forever.
there. I call him Reginald.
Belatro is my friend. Does that count?
Yeah.
There you go.
I have spent more time with Belatro than anyone else in my life over the past month. Literal calendar days. Literal calendar days.
You get a good game. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Pogron does bring up a good point, though. Actually, all houseplants do is leaf.
Oh my
That's
God.
fair. That's very fair.
Pi, you weren't here when I showed this off initially, but just for prosperity's sake, I'm going to show it off to you again.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a good illustration of my gaming habits. All right. Luminous, 420 hours. Belatro, 90 hours. Mario Kart, 450 hours.
Nice.
You know what none of those games have?
What?
Environmental puzzles.
Well,
right.
hang on.
Owning a plant
Mario
could be an
Kart
environmental
8 Deluxe,
Oh
the
no.
Hyrule Circuit.
Oh, no.
There are
Okay.
3 crystals you can activate, and then you get an extra jump in the middle of the Master Sword, which is, I don't know, I describe that as an environmental puzzle.
Yeah, see?
There's a couple things like that in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
See? It's a
There's
puzzle
also
platformer.
the little like question mark cloud on Yoshi's Island that you can go through that activates the floating bridge.
Mhm.
All right, fair enough.
See, everything can be a puzzle, Tiki.
You know what? I'm gonna just totally negate my whole argument here. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is one giant environmental puzzle.
Yeah.
Because-
When you set up this show today, you were technically doing an online puzzle.
Okay, but
And you
seriously,
did it
I'm being a little bit like gaming is philosophy about this right now, but just bear with me. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the best way to get good at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is to memorize those track layouts. And those track layouts have a shit ton of shortcuts, a shit ton of ways to optimize your routes. That's an
And what is
environmental
that,
puzzle,
Tiki?
I guess.
A memory
That's
puzzle.
a form of being an environmental puzzle.
Yeah.
That's why Mirror Mode's so good.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You can play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe without that shit, all right? It's not like the game has like an invisible wall in front of you when you don't take a shortcut.
Well, the main puzzle is figuring out how to go. The solution is to hold down a button.
It took me a good couple hours to get past the starting line. But once you do, the game really opens up.
Or it's like the first puzzle in Ready Player One, where literally all you have to do is just drive backwards.
That movie.
How we all feel about Ready Player One, kids?
I haven't seen it, nor have I read it.
I'll say I think it was very fun. I'm not saying it's a good movie. It's an enjoyable movie as long as you know what you're going in for.
That was me with Godzilla X Kong. I fucking love Godzilla X Kong. It's a trash movie, but I fucking love it.
There's room for movies like that, especially as a horror fan that I've gotten more into. I've watched all the Child's Play movies, and if you think most of those don't suck, you'd be wrong. They're adorable. I love them.
You know what? I am like vaguely interested in watching the Child's Play TV show because I did not know they were doing Old Man Chucky until I started seeing the ads for it.
I've been
That
watching that. It's supposed to be great.
It's really good.
That it does raise my interest level a lot. That being said, I have never had any interest in the Child's Play franchise outside of that. I saw the remake exclusively because of Mark Hamill. Exclusively
That is
for
the
Mark
only
Hamill.
one I haven't seen.
All
See,
right.
the thing with the Child's Play franchise is the same main writer who's been involved since the beginning, and he just likes to keep the same continuity. So even this TV series is bringing back things not just from the old movies, but there'll be plot threads from the direct-to-DVD sequels from the mid-2010s that goes like, I'll bring this back. Why not? There'll be a major character now.
Right.
They
I do
recap
respect
but,
that
like,
it's been the same person the whole time. That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Code Gias, he says, I watched Tiki's 2019 films video and I have a major bone with it. The greatest film of that year, Frozen 2, wasn't on there, but Serenity was. Code Gias, just don't watch our actual review of Frozen 2 then.
The 2003 Serenity, the Joss Whedon Serenity.
What?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, you're very late, Tiki. That came out like 20 years before that.
Right. No, Frozen 2, Serenity. Yeah, I'm sorry, I get that. I got it now. I'm slow on the uptake.
We got him there. Hey.
Frozen 2, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of Frozen 2, Code Geass. I'm terribly sorry. It's got a couple really good songs in it. The cover of Into the Unknown by Panic at the Disco, I'll say it before. I've said it before. I'll say it again. One of the all-time great covers of a Disney song ever put to recording. It slaps so fucking hard, but the actual movie itself is just it's aight. It's aight. It's your favorite Disney movie. It's your favorite one. It's your number one.
It was Oliver and Company before Frozen 2 came out.
I'm more positive towards Frozen 2 than you are. But I feel like the big Frozen 2 is where the cracks start to form in Disney's style they've been doing of, hey, we're going to have a release date for the movie. The writers will figure it out. And we can fix it in post.
Have y'all seen the documentary on Disney Plus? It's very revealing. It's very revealing.
It's a Frozen 2 documentary?
Dude, I'm not even joking about this. There's a Frozen 2 documentary on Disney Plus, and it actually reveals a lot about what went wrong with the production.
That's funny.
Look into it.
Yeah.
Like they legitimately couldn't even decide what the spirit that was calling to Elsa even was until very late in the production.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not as negative as you are. There's some parts of Frozen 2 I like more than Frozen 1. I think overall I like them both about equal. But like Frozen 2, there's definitely some issues with it.
Yeah.
Elsa is a great character. I agree with that.
Very quick. I don't think we ever figured out MVP.
Yeah, MVP.
Well, it's going to be either you or Outbound. It doesn't.
No, I know, but I think we're still at a tie.
According to OB, Outbound did pull ahead with one extra vote.
Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. All right, you failed.
So with that, Tiki wins.
Maybe I would have won either way.
I know.
I kid you not. I think at this point I am literally at -1 point for the fantasy.
I think you might be, yeah. As far as other ideas that would have been fun, someone suggested
1 second
in the main thread.
1 second.
And what?
1 second. I want to address one thing now that we're talking about people's hot takes about Disney movies. All right.
Oh God.
Okay.
So you know the person that shall not be name dropped on the podcast, Pi?
Yeah.
They posted their tier list of Disney movies.
Are you talking about Inside Out? It's like a bad movie.
No. Fantasia
Okay.
was at the top, which I was like, oh, damn.
Well,
That
no,
guy
Fantasia was
actually
the
has some good
specific one that
taste.
said Fantasia.
What?
It was a specific Fantasia tier.
I don't know if you're being serious or not.
No, I'm serious. It said Fantasia A, B, C.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I
the
mean,
first
he
one.
really loves Fantasia, so it's like,
Good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's fair.
you know, that guy, he's an interesting character, but he's got good taste.
Yeah.
Right, Frozen 2 is a very popular film, so it's not that hot of a take. It's a popular film, but I don't think many people are saying it's their #1 Disney movie. All right,
Wreck-It Ralph should
anyways.
not be that low. That might just be me, but Wreck-It Ralph should not be that low.
Oh, I'd have to look at it again. The first one? Oh, that is very low.
Right?
Yeah. I would say Wreck-It Ralph is great.
My own
I
complaint
would
with
say
Wreck-It
Wreck-It
Ralph
Ralph
is I
is
feel like
very
it's
good.
invincible.
I'm not as
Yeah.
big of a fan of Wreck-It Ralph as most people are, but I like it a lot.
I really like the first one. But anyway, new different ideas that we could have done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who said in the main thread, I really did enjoy the concept of a living with the land farming simulator. I think that would have been great.
We were talking about a Cypress Gardens one too.
What would you have done though? That's the problem. It's like
that's my problem with it too.
Yeah, there's
I
not
feel
much
like
there.
that itch is like it's living off the land, but it's a farming sim. And
Like
that's
in a
it.
void,
That's
it's
all
a
you
cool
need to know.
idea.
It writes itself.
Yeah.
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 It
We
would
were
have
talking
been
about
good
that a
for
little
this
bit earlier.
game. I just would have liked it.
Oh yeah. It's a cool idea, and I'm surprised they don't do anything with their attractions. Like in that capacity, you'd think it'd sell.
Especially because it's not difficult to make games now. Like if they had like a small division making like $10 games, it'd have been great.
Yeah.
Disney as a company has always sucked in the video game department. The only reason why they have good games at all is because they will occasionally work with a good developer like Capcom. That's the only reason. Yeah. All of their like actual like first party stuff is dog shit for the most part.
They barely even do first party stuff for like a long time now too.
Yeah.
And when they do, it's first party where it's just like Epic Mickey. They just kind of bought Warren Spector basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's owned by THQ.
Oh yes, Where's My Water, AGP? That was Disney.
Oh yeah.
And Pergron for the Busch Gardens first-person shooter, how I was picturing it, this might be a bit of an inversion for what you're expecting. One of the rhinos from Rhino Rally steals a poacher's gun. So you're playing as a rhino with a gun.
That's not where I thought that was going to go when you said the first part of that sentence.
No.
Rhino Rally is what they call
the rhino's going wild and we have to put it down? Oh god.
No, you're the rhino. Subverting expectations.
So, you know what I think would have been awesome? Country Bears rhythm game.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be neat.
You could get like you could bring back all the shitty Guitar Hero like peripherals, but instead of the plastic guitars, it's like fucking like peripheral jug. Like,
it's like a washboard and a a jug.
Okay, seriously, tell me that would be a fucking blast to play with, though. Seriously, that would be a blast. I actually think that an open world Magic Kingdom game where they basically connect all the lands together and make them actual like environments, I think that would be super cool. So like you start on like a main street type area, but there's also like side streets like Edison Square, Liberty Street, shit like that, anything you want to do. It's not just, it's basically like the Twilight Town, essentially. And then there's like a jungle surrounding it. There's fucking Haunted Mansion, a big canyon that would lead to a frontier section, a big fantasy castle that has like, I don't know, like a Mario 64 style gimmick where you go into paintings to go into the attractions or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be great. I feel that's very similar to what we did back in the So You Want to Be an Imagineer season 16.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. It suffered, that project, if you look back at it now, suffered a little bit from Breath of the Wild release that year. That's not a problem. But we even were like introducing a climbing mechanic and like,
Oh man,
the Breath of the Wild
Oh, wow.
climbing mechanic, our own version of Korok seeds. But it was a lot of fun. That is basically the idea of what we did. I remember, I think Figment was your buddy, so you could do like a little glide jump like Banjo-Kazooie. And you collected autographs and they were your power-ups.
I actually had I actually came up with a Segway as the main game mechanic in mind. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
It's also a pogo stick, so you can do cool platforms.
That doesn't help. That doesn't.
I don't know why it's a Segway, but the idea of like something you can ride on that then jumps. That's cool.
Yeah, basically it's like a scooter, like an electric scooter that also has the capacity to do like cool like double jump mechanics and stuff like that.
Okay.
That could be a fun mechanic. It's still tough to get past the Segway.
Yeah.
Tiki will play a game with a pogo stick Segway, but not with talking to people.
Yeah.
You know, the one exception to that is actually Animal Crossing New Horizons. Jokers, do you remember how deep into that game I was like when it first came out?
Yeah, but you kept complaining about the lack of a pogo stick. That's all you ever talked about. Like, I love it, but it needs jumping. It needs a pogo stick.
I'm sure that game has a pogo stick item somewhere. I would be shocked if it didn't.
I will say all games need jumping.
Yes.
I don't care what the game is. I should be able to jump.
Yeah.
You want to know a hot take that I still kind of agree with, even though I had this take as a child?
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time. The jumping is automatic. I don't like that. I've never been able to get into it.
No, I'm okay with that. It's never bothered me.
It works for that game. If I had a choice, I would give it the jump button.
Yeah.
Oh, another idea that I liked, but we couldn't do it because it already existed, was the Legoland game.
I
really like that game.
Anyway.
I like that idea a lot.
I know. That's what I was saying. It was like we could just update it. Like, who cares? It was like 98 that it came out.
It's not like you would have done the same thing, I'm sure.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's a really cool idea.
I am still just insanely jealous of all the people that got to grow up going to Legoland. Because I just did it for the first time when I was 32 years old. And I appreciated it, right? Like, I'm glad that I did it once. But holy shit, the entire time I was there, I was just thinking, like, man, like if I was like 10 years old, this place would literally be better than Disneyland.
Oh yeah.
It's still better than Disneyland because y'all know my thoughts about Disneyland.
I'm sitting in an apartment full of Lego right now. So that's my qualifier for this comment. I disagree.
Here's the thing. Just based on the current state of Disneyland Park, no other Disney parks in the country, just Disneyland Park. Based on the state of that park and how it's being run and what the crowd control situation is like and what the prices are like and what the situation is with the breakdowns constantly happening, yeah, I would rather go to Legoland than Disneyland California currently.
Well, Tiki, what's the better ride? Indiana Jones Adventure or the X-Coaster?
I got stuck on the brake run. I
remember you talking about that.
For like a half hour, and it freaked my grandma the hell out. My grandma did not know what was happening. And I was like, I'm right there. Like, it was literally one of the things where I was like on the platform. I was just like past, I wasn't like past the red part of the platform.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's funny.
All I can say to this debate is that the early 2000s sitcom Yes Dear by Greg Garcia, creator of My Name is Earl, had an episode where they visited Legoland. It didn't have an episode where they visited Disneyland.
That's a good point. Very fair.
Most of the TGIF episodes that visit Disney World, not Disneyland.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So there's I'm still, for the most part, I'm out on Disney as a theme park. I think that I am one of those annoying ass Epic Universe fanboys where it's like Epic Universe is gonna crush Disney.
Yeah.
Epic Disney doesn't, but they seriously don't know what they're in for. And Epic Universe is gonna fucking crush Disney. But
Tiki is the RGB Productions of theme park news.
what? You're gonna have to explain that one to me.
That guy you were talking about who does all the Nintendo
RGT 85.
Yes, I'm
Get
sorry.
it right.
I don't know these people.
Respect
Tiki.
the man.
No, I don't know these people.
He's not a Nintendo YouTuber. Oh God. Okay. AGP says Disneyland's currently in concert season, which means that hundreds of obnoxious, unchaperoned kids are roaming the park every day. Yeah. That sounds like it literally sounds like the fourth corner of hell. It I would literally be, I swear to God, I would rather get dental work done than go to that park under those circumstances. I swear to God.
It's always fun when you're in somewhere at Disney, especially if it's like a restaurant or something smaller, and you see like 30 kids with the same shirt walk in. You're like, oh, I need to leave.
I remember
I have had a couple days like that where I've gone to Six Flags and it's been like that. And fortunately, I live close enough to Six Flags where I can just be like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go in. I'm going to do Medusa a couple times. I'm going to take some pictures, and then I'm going to get the fuck out.
I remember sprinting to Backlot Express trying to get in front of tour groups at Disney.
Oh my God.
Hollywood Studios.
Backlot Express? What is Backlot?
Is that not what it's called? The restaurant next to Indiana Jones.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
got it. Yeah. Okay.
It's the basic restaurant for studios.
Yeah.
Is that where they do the? Because I did a Toy Story Land early entry thing, and it included like an early breakfast. Is that where they do the breakfasts usually?
I don't know, but that sounds right. It's not very close, but it's a big restaurant.
Yeah, it was a big restaurant. Yeah.
Was it like their commissary? Probably.
Mm.
You want to know the reason specifically why I did that Toy Story Land early entry thing?
So you could ride Slinky Dog Dash a bunch of times.
So I could marathon Slinky Dog Dash, get the feel for the ride, and then literally never, ever have to worry about waiting in that line ever again for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good on ever. I did Slinky Dog Dash like 6 times in a row. I literally do not need to ride that ride anymore for my entire life.
Good.
Yeah. I love that ride. It might be the most unpleasant queue of any queue in any theme park ever.
Yeah. About half of the Disneyland ones are worse. I mean, at least the Slinky Dog Dash queue has some kinetic energy. I do like how the whole queue is like the box that the playset came in. I think that's neat. Dude, have you waited 2 hours in line on the roof of the Disneyland Space Mountain?
That I have not. No. That's
some
hours.
Some of the queues at Tokyo can be pretty rough.
Really?
Yeah, Soaring's really bad because it's like 90% outside. Space is pretty bad because they still have the speed ramp. So it's switchbacks in the ground floor before they can safely put people up the speed ramp. And then you have to wait outside before you go inside.
Okay, I used to think that I wanted the speed ramp back at Disneyland.
I'm proud to say that I've ridden 2/3 of the Space Mountain speed ramps. And
I don't want the speed ramp back anymore.
I like the speed ramps. They're fun.
Okay, Pix, yes, that Space Mountain roof queue is its own form of torture. Keep in mind, this is before they used the second level of the Starcade as extended queue space, folks. It's all outdoors. It was the most miserable theme park queue experience of my life, hands down. You know what's funny about that experience, though?
What?
That was in 2005, right after Space Mountain had reopened after that big refurbishment. I don't know if y'all remember that big refurbishment that happened.
Yeah.
And it was my first time going on Space Mountain. And I want to say, waiting in that hellish 2-hour queue made the actual payoff of getting on the ride and experiencing the ride for the first time even sweeter.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was just... Because the whole time I was in line, I was just staring at the building. I had no idea what it was like. Yeah. All I knew was that basically the only thing I knew about the actual ride was that you couldn't see which way you were going. Like that, it was going to be dark. Other than that, I had no idea. I had no fucking clue what it was going to be like. Yeah. So when I got in there and it was just like star projections everywhere, I will say that I do think the star projections were a lot more pronounced when it first opened, and then over time, I think the projectors have kind of lost a little bit of their brightness. But when it first opened, man, as soon as you round that corner at the top of the second lift hill and then start going up that third lift hill, you're just like, oh, wow. This doesn't feel like I am in a dark room. This feels like I am in space. Like, cool. Anyways, guys, we got 5 minutes left before we have to get the hell out of here. Any other comments or game ideas or anything?
I think they should make a game based off that Spaceman roof. It can be like a crafting game where you have to gather supplies to help survive from the sun.
Yeah. You collect rainwater and steal people's jackets to build roofs.
Yeah, I think that one would have won.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh boy. All right. There's a lot of different directions we could go in. Like Pi, trust me. I don't know how familiar you are with the Disneyland queues. I can think of at least a handful of them that are way worse than the Slinky Dog Dash queue.
Yeah.
The Slinky Dog Dash queue is far from the worst queue in any theme park.
I'll give it worse in Orlando.
Yeah,
I can maybe side with that.
Fair. I just don't understand why it's all outside.
Playground, that is a good strategy.
Yes,
I'm curious how that one's gonna pay off.
We decided that we've won so much that we'd like to give you the win this round. So we're gonna sit back, take some time off, and see you next round.
What is the score? Is it
2-2?
Oh, it's 2-2.
Tied.
Awesome. Okay. I am very glad that it's tied. I actually do, just as kind of like a final thought, I do think that the fact that y'all have both won 2 projects, that's a really good omen for how well this season's going.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the last 2 or 3 games I have played, I have ended up on teams that just lose the entire pre-merge.
Yeah.
They just lose.
I mean, I think we have a really balanced cast this season, which is fantastic. And I haven't really seen a cast like that in a while. So we're doing real good.
Right.
Yeah. Also, quick aside, can we please actually do that where we just neither team submits a project? Because I think that'd be really funny. It's like 2 days have passed and there's nothing.
Is someone who's hosted 20 seasons? That does not amuse me. Probably like 25-ish if you count the spin-offs.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a little funny for the host, but I'm gonna
You're
say
right, Priest. It's hilarious.
All right. Anything else, guys?
No. I think
we're good. Y'all did great. I look forward to seeing what you're doing. I'm gonna go back to playing. Maybe I'll start God of War or Halo. Other favorite GameCube games.
Good.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that Halo is yet to come to Switch, given how close Nintendo and Microsoft are right now.
I really thought Master Chief was coming to Smash.
Yeah.
God. I, for one, am glad that Sora made it in, but that being said, I literally haven't touched Smash in years. Anyways, all right, folks. I want to thank everybody in the comments. Theme Park Priest, Keep Colby, AGP, Pix. Let's see. We got Outbound. We got Muppets Fan. We got LEB. We got Kogias. A lot of people. Am I missing anyone? Am I missing? I think that's it.
Think so?
Think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the rest of you, thank you for being here.
With Keeper Colby and LEB2.
Oh, God.
Theme Park Priest. And
dude,
the rest.
There you go. Yeah, I was going to say, do
That's
the new
the joke
one.
I was going for, but it
Good.
totally didn't work or was executed well at all. See you later, guys.
Goodbye.